Today we're tackling the pickleRick room on Try Hack Me, a beginner-friendly web exploitation challenge. We use RustScan, Nmap, and FFuff for reconnaissance. We discover plain text credentials in a page source and robots.txt. Then we're going to exploit a web command panel to retrieve all three ingredients to win the room. Look, if you're left feeling vulnerable after watching this video, maybe because your web space looks a little bit like this, you can learn exactly what you need to do to harden your system against these attacks with an executive report for this room available through my website. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Let's get started. So here we are in the command, the CLI on Kali, and you see me going to the downloads folder so that we can open up the VPN so that we're on the same network as the room. Missed my sudo password, but I get it this time. There we are. Okay, so we're our VPN credentials are all set. I'm opening up a new tab right now, but not before making the color. Got to color code it, right? So there's my VPN tab, and here we are opening up the new tab, and now we're going to resolve the Etsy hosts file. So Etsy hosts is where you can, it's like your own little personal DNS library. I've done the pickleRick room before, so I'm looking right now for the pickleRick. For the pickleRick line there, and I am throwing in the new. So there I'm highlighting the IP, and you can see me going to, I've gone to the pickleRick room where I started up the instance and got it resolved. So now instead of having to remember the IP, now all I got to remember is pickleRick.thm, and you see the ping works. So we're in business, off to the races. So let's jump right into it with a RustScan. RustScan-A, all ports, pickleRick.thm, that's where we're attacking. The dash sends it into Nmap, and the dash capital A is all scripts, throwing all them scripts at Nmap once. It takes the Rust scan and throws it into Nmap, the results there. And while that's running, we're going to take a look here at our landing page. So RustScan's done. We're going to take the meaningful information from the RustScan results, copy that, and paste it right into our notes. So there it is, the RustScan results are in our notes, and we are putting a space between the two ports that are open. We've got port 22 and port 80. We're about to jump into an SSH, a little bit of SSH enumeration just by running SSH. Doesn't like just the Y for SSH. pickleRick.thm, that's our IP. Yes, okay, permission denied public key. It does not ask for a password, so this is not password authenticated. This is probably not our path. So now we're going to start looking at 80. We just ran a FFuff. We're going to FFuff these directories, see if we can't find some open directories, and we did. I'll tell you right now, spoiler alert, we did find some directories. So here we are going to login.php, and we have a login page. All right, so let's figure out if we can log in. Let's go check out robots.php. Found us robots.php, and look at that. That's probably a password. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that, paste it into the notes. Here we are 4 minutes in, and we've already found a password. Do not let your robots.txt file be publicly visible. That is not safe. So what's next? Well, let's poke around here on this login page. First, let's just do the first, reasonable thing and view the page source. Oh my gosh, look at that. We've got a username plainly visible on the page source for the login page. So now what we have a username and what's likely a password, let's give it a shot. So you can see here I'm pasting the username, copying and pasting the username from my notes on into the login page, and copying and pasting what I think is the password. Does it work? Fingers crossed. Is the Lord? Oh, and look at that. Now we've got a command panel. All right, let's check out. Let's see what we can find. ls-la, where we're at. And look at that. We've got a whole bunch of files here to check out. And one of those is supersecretpassword.txt. I wonder if there is some kind of super secret password, or I think it's actually ingredient. Supersecretingredient.txt. I wonder if that's something that we might need. So copying that, pasting it into our notes. Get that pasted into our notes, baby. So let's concatenate this. Is that what I'm doing here? Nope. First, we're going to figure out who I am. So who am I? We're going to drop that into our notes. It looks like we are data. We are data. So we don't have pseudo privileges. Not yet, at least. So now let's concatenate this super secret ingredients, and it looks like the cat command has been disabled. So let's use strings instead. Strings super ingredients, and there we have it. I've covered it up because I don't want to spoil it for you, but there, right there is one of the first ingredients. Here I am dropping that ingredient into the room, and we have a big old check mark right there. First ingredient down. All right, let's do some exploratory actions here. We just ls-la to home. Here's our home directory, and we can see that there is a Rick directory in the home directory. Dropping that in the notes, and then we're going to ls-la /home/Rick. And when we're in the Rick directory, we find another second ingredient. And we do strings, and second ingredient has a space in it, so we have to put quotation marks around the file path because there's a space between second and ingredient. And strings second ingredient indeed gives us the second ingredient. So now we're going to check our sudo privileges, sudo-l, and look at that. We have sudo privileges. There's no password protecting our super user do privileges. So maybe we check root. Maybe we have root privileges. Let's check it out. Here I'm putting in checking out the sudo privileges, dropping in my command, and the result of the command into my notes. You got to take those good notes. And there we have it. So now sudo ls/root, and we found the third ingredient. So sudo strings /root/third.txt, and there we have it. We have our third ingredient. My friends, bing, bang, boom. pickleRick is as easy as that. I highly suggest you going through this challenge yourself. It can teach you the critical importance of thorough enumeration. Like I said in the beginning of the video, if you want to check out my website, there will be an executive summary there for purchase if you want to see exactly what a pen test would produce for this kind of environment to tell the dev team how to harden your security. Now, if you want a personal penetration test for your environment, that is also available at the website as well. Smash the like button. You know, don't just click it a little bit. Break your mouse. Like mouse trap. Like wham! Smash that like button. Break that mouse. Hit the like. Or I'm sorry. Have I been all that for the like button? No. Subscribe. Subscribe to this channel. Check it out. Share it with your friends. We shall see you in the next one.